Hello, everyone. I'm Sean,
This is Hoon.
and we are the Courageour Frights back once again for their series review. So now we're doing Dragon Ball Daima episodes 5 and 6.
Oh, yeah.
So took a week off, so now we're doing the next two episodes.
Yeah, the next two episodes.
So episode 5, titled Pansy.
Which...
So what happens in episode 5?
So I think on the end of episode 4, we see the character, like the girl character, is kind of like just standing there menacingly. We find out what her name is. Her name is Pansy.
Yes.
And she wants to like pretty much go with them. She's like, "Oh, where are you guys going?" type of thing. Because like, you guys are suspicious. How did you beat all these people up? Basically telling Goku that. It's like, how did you beat all these people up? How did you get so strong? It's like, oh, I just train all the time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then you find like the episode's kind of a, I don't know how to explain it. It's definitely a backstory episode. It's kind of giving backstory, maybe building up the world some more still. So Glorio and them are saying like, we need to get to the castle of the Demon World 3 or whatever. So Pansy's like, oh, I could assist you and do that. Just come with me. I could tell you where it's at. So she takes him through the wilderness or whatever into the castle, and then she's like, oh yeah, I'm the princess of this castle, basically. So we find out Pansy is a princess that also likes to be like it's almost like an inventor type of thing, because she like made the wasabi bomb and stuff like that. So her character is kind of like, at least to me, very similar to, feels like Dragon Ball Bulma, like the first Bulma from Dragon Ball. She had like almost the same personality. It's very similar, maybe like a little bit different, but very similar personality. But is that then like the inventor, more like the adventurous type, that type of stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty much just the demon realm equivalent of Bulma, basically.
Yeah. And then they go to the castle and they talk to the king or whatever, and the king's like, who are you, pretty much? And Gloria, because I guess didn't the king like hire Glorio, as Glorio's like tasked to try to get them to try to get Goku and them to the castle. I think
that's the story that Glorio told them, but then when they get there, they find out that the king like doesn't really know much about him anyway.
Yeah.
So
he's like, you didn't realize they were kids. You're saying the kids beat up the Majin, like Majin Buu? Like, yes. These are the strongest people in the world. Like, these are the strongest. One of the strongest children. These kids that are with me. But then you get to then they explain the reason why they're kids is because they're saying that what's his name? Goma came to the Earth and basically took their Dragon Balls and shrunk them all to kids.
Yeah.
And he took Dende, which Dende is like the Earth's equivalent, like the person that made the Dragon Balls. So their plan was that Goma's going to bring him back down to the demon realm and have Dende pretty much make the Dragon Balls there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way they'll have Dragon Balls so they can make wishes in the demon realm, because they can't do that in the demon realm because of the 3 Dragon Balls that are there are kind of like they're guarded by those guys. I don't know their names. It's like
Tamagami or something.
Tamagami guys. They're like guarding him, so no one actually made any wishes. But Goku is telling the king, like King Kaden, their plan is to take their Dragon Balls and make wishes there to make themselves bigger again, like to get themselves out of where they're at, and then rescue Dende. That's like their plan. So they kind of like explain to them like why they're there, pretty much. And that's pretty much the episode, because the king doesn't believe him, so the king makes him fight like the strongest people in his like army or whatever, and Goku like handily beats them. But this is when we first see that Goku still has his Super Saiyan abilities as a kid, though, because he does do it.
Right, he does it for a split second, just basically uses like a flashbang, pretty much.
Yeah. I was like, oh, what is that? He's like, these guys are definitely strong, pretty much. They kind of say like, these guys definitely are strong. And then the king's like, okay, if it's at your plan, I'll give you a ship, because Glorio's like, our ship got stolen or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the king tells his men to steal another ship for them. So like, our ship is stolen, so he can steal this other ship for them. So, and then that's kind of like pretty much the episode, because Pansy wants to go with them because they're like, she's kind of like, I want to be the mechanic for the ship because the ship breaks down. Because it was like a scene from Star Wars, like, this is a piece of junk.
Yeah, what a piece of junk.
What a piece of junk. It's kind of like that type of scene, which is kind of that's like the whole episode, pretty much.
Yeah, she goes along with them because, like you said, she has the mechanical know-how to fix the ship and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, there was one part where the king's like, "We have other fighters on Earth, and I kind of want you to bring them over because we don't have a pin number."
Oh yeah,
we don't have the pin number. We don't know, like, there's no way to tell them that this is what you're supposed to do to get them. So the king's like, "Oh, I'll have." I don't know the guy's name. It's like the guy that's doing ballet.
Yeah, it was like one of his.
Yeah, his henchman is like, "Yeah, go find the Z fighters in Earth 7 or whatever at this one specific case and bring them back to us." And that's like then he told him to go off and do that. And that was pretty much all the main points of the episode.
Right, which gives us a way to get them to get to Earth or get to the demon realm because they can't actually get there because they don't have the pin number or whatever.
Yeah, they can't actually do that because they don't really know the actual procedures of what you're supposed to do.
Right. All right, so that's episode 5. Another good episode, some more world building, a little bit of action at the end. That seems to be the formula.
It's and then you kind of learn about Pansy, which Pansy, like I said, Pansy's definitely Bulma. Like Pansy is Dragon Ball Bulma.
And every episode ends up being more and more RPG type stuff.
Yeah.
That's the episode where Pansy joins the party.
And tries to kill them in the same episode. Like because she brings all her crap aboard the ship, and the ship like falls to its death at the end of the episode. Like,
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
The irony of it is, she got on board to repair the ship, but she brought so much crap with her that she crashed the ship.
Yeah. And you get to learn that Goku. I know there's a lot of shippers out there want to like get Goku not to have Chi-Chi as his wife anymore, but he does say, "I have a wife and kids."
Yeah.
So.
And we also discovered that demons live 1,000 years, and Pansy's like 84 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, which makes her like the equivalent of an 8-year-old. So you got some of these weirdos in the fandom that are like, she's over 18. It's like,
I knew that. Like, when she said that, I was like, you said her age. This is not a good thing.
Set off and argued.
You said the age, even though it's like it's obvious.
Debates on X and all that shit. And
it's like you've done the worst mistake you could possibly do.
When you're 84 and your species lives 1,000 years,
that's like 8 years old or something. It's like an 8-year-old or something. So
it's like stop
it.
Gonna have to start bonking people.
Yeah.
So anyway, episode 6 is Lightning. We discover towards the end of the episode, I guess, why the episode's called that. So the plane crashes, like we said. They discover that the plane crashed because Pansy brought too much crap on board.
Yeah.
So she fixes the ship, and then while they're fixing it, Goku goes to take a dump again.
Yeah, because he's just like taking dumps everywhere.
He has to defecate in the bush.
Yeah.
From the moment Goku has arrived, he's just farted and shit his way across the
I know. It's like he has some like intestinal issues in this series. Is Goku has intestinal issues?
Well, I mean, he's eating cans of minced centipedes. So,
that's true. I mean, he's like not eating like normal stuff. So
that stuff was. I would assume that would go through you pretty quick.
Yeah.
They get some more backstory about the first, second, third world. Because Glorio's suspicious as has been the whole time.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously from the third world, but he has first world clearances and stuff because he works for someone in the first world who we find out at the end of the episode who he works with.
Yeah.
And Shin has never trusted him the entire time.
Yeah, Shin's like, there's something up with Glorio because Glorio never says anything, and he's like kind of suspicious. Well, she is very suspicious in the show.
Right. We get some more lore building. We learn that the Glins, which of course is Shin's race, are born from trees, which was a thing that Toriyama talked about like over a decade and a half ago.
Oh, so that was actually original Toriyama idea.
Yeah, that's something Toriyama talked about a long time ago, like about 2008 or something like that. He drew this diagram that showed like what at the time called core persons, but ended up becoming glins, and they were grown almost like fruit from a tree.
Oh, okay.
So I like that was kept in.
Yeah, good thing that he was able to put that idea
This.
in there somewhere.
Right. And that the Glins don't have genders. So they just have body type. The body
Yeah.
type A and
Yeah,
body
they have
type
body
B.
type A and B. Yes.
To quote, we should reference Dragon Quest.
Yeah, Dragon
remake or
Quest.
So the whole group basically decides to spend the night in a cave after they fly for a bit and then they land, and they go to sleep in the cave. Gloria goes to go talk on to somebody in his communicator. You find out that he's actually hired by Arinsu, so the Dr. Kai from the first episode, who's Shin's sister, who's obviously plotting something.
Yeah, very suspicious character as well, because she's been to Earth multiple times.
Right. She's potentially the main. She might be the main villain.
Yeah.
Of the show. We don't really know.
Goma's probably like your secondary villain. She's probably the main villain.
Yeah, Goma doesn't seem powerful enough to be the main threat. And Ritsu's like plotting behind his back.
Yeah, and I guess the other Kai that's there is probably Aritsu and Kai, the other Kai, and then Goma's just kind of there.
Oh yeah, Degetsu or whatever.
It's like his brother, or like.
Yeah, I think it's Degetsu or something like that.
Yeah,
Degetsu or something. So they're sleeping in this cave, and suddenly this Minotaur shows up and says he's gonna eat them.
Goku insults him multiple times.
Goku keeps calling him a cow.
Yeah.
And Goku, it's funny because Goku and Gloria both say they're going to fight him. And then Goku's like, nah, he's too much for you. I'll take him.
Yeah.
And Gloria's like, what's that mean? Like, you think you're stronger than me or something? And Goku's like, I mean, not to brag, but yeah.
Yeah, I am. He's like, I am.
So then they go outside and Goku and Gloria fight each other.
Yeah, Gloria's like, bring it then.
And the Minotaur is just sitting there watching this, like, wait, you guys just ignoring me now?
Yeah.
Gloria reveals that his magic is Sith lightning.
A Sith Lord?
Yeah, he's pretty much that.
He shoots lightning out of his fingertips like Palpatine.
He's like, unlimited. He haven't had an unlimited power scene on there.
He did charge up for a while.
Yeah. He's like,
and
unlimited power.
And Goku just dodges everything, and then he goes Super Saiyan, and we find out he can actually maintain Super Saiyan for more than like a split second. Like he actually can go full Super Saiyan.
And he was like, I'm glad I had that happen. I guess he probably didn't even know that. He was just like, I'm glad I can do that. So
yeah, he's like, well, that's helpful, yeah. Because they're like, what else can you do? And he doesn't say anything. But he hasn't even shown ki to them yet. Like he hasn't done a Kamehameha. He hasn't done any kind of ki blasts. Nothing. He's holding everything back.
Kaioken times whatever.
Yeah.
He hasn't done that yet either.
He hasn't done any of that. So like there's like a million techniques that he hasn't shown anybody.
Yeah.
And then before they leave, Goku runs off behind the bush to poop again.
Yeah, he's like, I need to take a shit again.
So then they cut back to Earth. Bulma's finished repairing the ship. Vegeta's just out training with his weights or whatever.
Yeah.
And Piccolo and Kibito are there as well. And so Bulma fixes the ship. Mr. Popo's there watching them take off. And then the ship crashes.
Yeah.
So Bulma wasn't going to go. She was going to stay behind, but I think she's going to go with them now because just like Pansy to fix the ship or whatever, because like we already pointed out, Pansy and Bulma are like almost the same character.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a mistake not to have Bulma go along because Bulma kind of needs to meet Pansy. So because they're like two.
Yeah, I can see their dynamic being pretty good if they meet or whatever. I can see their dynamic being pretty good.
Because they're very similar characters, so I think that would be funny. Plus, the intro and everything else shows Bulma as part of the group.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to get too many other characters in this. I think it's basically just going to be Vegeta, Piccolo, Kibito, and Bulma.
Yeah,
added on to the 4 we already have.
Yeah, Glorio, Pansy, the Kai or whatever, Supreme Kai. I don't know his name.
Yeah, Shin and Goku.
Shin and Goku.
And then, because that's 4 and 4, so I wonder if they get there, if there's going to be like an episode or two where it's going to bounce back and forth between the two parties.
Yeah, because
Like,
they did say they have
other.
to go find them or whatever. They have to find them somewhere.
Yeah.
So they probably what that's going to happen is like that guy's going to show up because, like I said, the ballet guy didn't show up in this episode. So I'm assuming the next episode he will
Right.
show up and probably bring him back to the king's what's his name? King Caden's castle.
Yeah.
And that's going to be their start off point. It'd be like, oh, they went that way towards the Dragon Ball or whatever.
Right, because Goku didn't want to stay behind in the previous episodes because he's like, they'll find us.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going and they'll catch up. So I think probably by episode 8, maybe.
Yeah.
They'll probably all be in the demon realm.
Because episode 7, it's called Caller, and I think we do learn that she has Pansy has a collar as well. Because I think all the third world demons all have collars. I think. At least it seems like, except the king, which I didn't see him have a collar on it, but because she has a scarf is covering it, but she does have a collar.
Right.
And they're like, why don't you two have collars? It's because I'm from the first world and the second world doesn't have collars either. It's only the third world.
Yeah, it's like their sign of
yeah, they're like
that they're a lower class.
Yeah, like the dirt of all the groups or whatever. Because Shin also says well, we're thrill seekers. It's like, why are you guys here? Oh, we're thrill seekers. So no one comes over there from the second and first world unless you have business. Which that's what I think they even say that somewhere. I'm pretty sure one of the episodes they do say that. So
yeah, so I think overall this episode kind of following the same formula. There's a fight at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every episode since episode 3 has had the same formula. It's build up a lot of world building, some lore, and then the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a fight scene, and maybe have the Z fighters for a little bit, for maybe 2 seconds. Just have them.
Yeah, just to
we're
keep
still
them
here.
Yeah, these guys are coming. So yeah, probably by episode 8 or 9 or something like that, they'll be there.
Yeah, I think there's so much lore building. Probably once they get to the second demon world, it's probably gonna be more lore building than the third demon world. Definitely, I'm sure we'll probably learn everything by the third demon world. Yeah, whenever they get to that point. But second demon world probably has a little bit of lore building, which they kind of been building lore this whole time. So it's kind of probably once it actually starts, when you have all the pieces here.
Yeah, it's probably until episode 10 or something for it to all the pieces to fall in.
Yeah, because what was it? How many episodes was supposed to be in this show? Was it
supposedly 20?
20? Yeah, I'd say probably world building up this episode. Probably 10, probably once everyone shows up. Mm-hmm. Then we might actually have it to where you have the action and probably more of the actual adventuring part. I guess you can say. Even though the adventure has been going on, it's just.
Well, yeah, they've been doing adventure stuff.
Yeah, so
I still think it's pretty well paced. The animation is really good still. Everything's still good. The animation is pretty clear. It's pretty clear at this point that it's going to remain the same quality throughout.
Yeah, which kind of makes me kind of excited about Super 2 or whatever, whenever the next season of whatever.
If that happens. Hopefully that even happens at some point.
Because if they keep the same animation there, I could see that being really good. But
the one thing, speaking about Super 2, which I guess we can talk about, because I think we're done talking about these 2 episodes pretty much. The one thing about Super is if it returns, the next arc would be the Moro arc.
Yeah.
Do you think one of the reasons why they've delayed it so long is because Daima was happening with all this demon realm stuff? And Moro is almost definitely from the demon realm?
They probably will. Unless...
I wonder if they're going to
somehow to where.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If they're going to incorporate a bunch of stuff that's from Daima into that Moro arc.
Yeah. Because Moro is like a goat man, right? Or is he a cow man?
Yeah, he's got the pointed ear. He's a goat guy.
He's a goat man.
He has the demon realm pointed ears, and he's been around for millions of years. He's some evil sorcerer or something like that.
I wonder. It probably is going to connect. Probably Super is going to probably Super 2 or whatever they're going to call it. The next one probably is going to connect because there's a reason why they're getting all this soul energy from people. I have a feeling that soul energy is used to revitalize Moro or whatever.
That could be something like that.
Yeah. Like that's maybe her plan, because like I said, we haven't seen too much of the bad guy's plan yet. It's kind of still like up in the air.
Because maybe they do reveal that here, and then that Goku and them don't know about that plan, and then it's like several years pass.
Yeah.
Like 5 years later or something like that, and then Moro is revived.
Yeah, and then he comes out of the demon realm, and then Super.
Yeah, because Moro, I don't remember how Moro was revived. Actually, I think Moro was in custody or something. Like
Moro was in custody the whole time.
Yeah, something like that. Like the Galactic Patrol had him or something, but then something happened that gave him like a huge influx of power or something. I have to go back and reread it.
Which that could be like, if they were to really do it, if they were to do the solar energy, because it's like this. They do talk about the solar energy, and it's like it's kind of like out of place almost. There's got to be a reason why they would even talk about it.
Because that's how Boo was revived, was with, like energy taken from people.
And if Moro's like a threat like that.
Yeah, they could do something like that. Like maybe Dr. Arinsu is like one of Moro's henchmen or something like that.
Yeah, that could be. I could see that if they were to, if this could lead up to what they want to do in the future. Because if Moro, like I say, if Moro is the next arc, which from the
would be if they follow the manga.
Yeah. But the manga is going that arc, if they want to go from Super into Super 2 or whatever they're going to call it, Moro to Dragon Ball. But
just
Moro.
The fact that Moro was a sorcerer that used a lot of magic. He's obviously from the demon realm. It makes perfect sense that Daima would lead into Moro, but of course none of the events of Daima take place in the manga because none of that stuff was written.
Yeah, that's like all different things,
right? So, but the anime and the manga don't necessarily reflect each other. Like there's a lot of differences already between the two.
Even though like isn't like who's the guy who does the manga, like
Toyotaro.
He did work with Toriyama a lot of times with a lot of stuff.
He was like directly involved with Toriyama. Like he was basically Toriyama's hand-picked successor type thing.
I have a feeling you probably are right. This probably is going to lead into the Moro arc somewhere along those. Like they're probably be like somewhere.
Yeah, it'll probably be a completely revamped Moro arc.
Yeah. So it's going to be
something like it's either going to be that or ththey're going to rework like Janemba or something.
Oh, yeah.
Who was like a demon character from the movies. Sort of like a Broly, where it's like a character that existed in the movies, but now he's not canon because none of the movies are canon.
Yeah.
So they could rework like Janemba or somebody, like a canon version of Janemba, possibly.
Yeah. Was Janemba in Fighters?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw he sounded familiar. He's like
that pink purple demon guy with the sword and stuff. Like,
oh, okay, I think I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah. That has like the interdimensional portal type thing. So he could be reworked sort of like how Broly was.
Yeah, that could be it too as well. Because Janemba seems like an interesting character. It's just since he's in a non-canon thing, they probably want to try to get all this stuff into canon. That's probably the best way to do it.
Dragon Ball Super manga can't possibly be canon with the anime.
Yeah.
They may be able to rework Moro into this type of thing as well. So it's like there's possibilities for Janemba, there's possibilities for Moro. There's possibilities that they'd also rework a lot of GT stuff into this.
Yeah.
Already similarities.
Which GT is, I don't think, is GT even canon anymore? I don't think that's even canon.
No,
that's just like kind of a thing.
Right. Because that takes place after Super, and it wouldn't make any sense if it was actually truly canon.
Okay, so
there was rumors way back when this first started that Super Saiyan 4 was going to make a comeback.
Oh.
They can't do Super Saiyan 4 in this show make sense unless it's like an ability that can only be done in Demon Realm for some reason.
Maybe it's like a mixture of magic and like Super Saiyan powers or something.
Yeah, or it has something to do with some like one of those bugs or something that you can find.
Oh yeah, that could be it. One of those fusion bugs, maybe.
They're definitely going to do a fusion at some point because they introduced that fusion.
They specifically said something about what is this? This is a fusion bug machine, like a fusion bug thing.
Yeah, and on the bottle they showed 3 people fusing.
Yeah,
on the bottle. So
That could be maybe like a Kai, maybe be a Kai, or maybe a Glorio. Maybe Glorio, depending on how Glorio is.
Yeah.
Glorio, Goku, and like Vegeta all combined together. You have the magical base, like Super Saiyan. That would be.
Yeah.
I guess it really
yeah,
depends. I guess depends how Glorio is, because Glorio is very like Glorio is very suspicious, almost like a bad guy, but it's like not. It's kind of like
yeah.
it's kind of
There's a lot
back and
we
forth.
there's a lot we don't know about Glorio yet. Like
Yeah,
Shin still doesn't trust him.
Yeah, because like they say, the only thing we know about Glorio is he used to be from the third world, and he goes like he's now hired in the first world, which Pansy specifically says that's very lucky of you. He's like, yeah, it is.
And also, we know his employer is now Dr. Arinsu, who's most likely the villain of the show.
Yeah.
So.
And Doctor's like, the plan's going smoothly or whatever. He's talking to her. So, yeah, I guess there was a couple different. There's definitely a lot of trajectories they could go with this, especially if they want to continue on with the series. Not necessarily Daima, but maybe just another Dragon Ball series. Because they have it there. Because this show's like done. This show's done, right? They're not doing any more animation and stuff like that, or is that
I think it's finished.
Like it's the whole thing is done. They're just releasing it episodically, but not.
I think, yeah.
So if they wanted to work on something else I'm sure they've been working on something else.
Mm-hmm.
Being this is like Toriyama's last thing, they probably have something in the works.
Yeah, they probably put all their effort into this because it's Toriyama's final project, but I'm sure something has been floating around for Dragon Ball Super 2 or something like that.
I'm assuming they might have asked me Toyotaro or whatever, at least a little bit of what ideas he was thinking of doing.
And Toyotaro hasn't written anything in 9 months, 8 months, something like that, because the manga's been on hiatus since Toriyama's death.
Yeah.
Which was in March. So, but probably by January, he's probably going to start writing again.
Be like, oh, let me start writing again because I have an idea of what to do. Or maybe they probably talked. I'm sure they probably talked about something before.
Yeah, they've had press release type stuff where they said that the manga is continuing and stuff like that. So
it's kind of like when Berserk, like the or whatever name, like the guy who did Berserk or whatever passed away. They had like that one guy that was like working with them the whole time, and he had to like go through all his notes to like see where to go because they didn't really have an idea what to do, but they had like some idea because they talked about it at least a little bit. Probably one of those type of things.
It'll definitely be interesting to see where this series goes in the future. There's a lot of directions that can still go. We're not even at the halfway point yet.
Yeah, so. That's like since there's only if it's actually going to be 20 episodes, because that means those last 10 episodes are going to be, or wherever the Z Fighter combines together part is gonna, then it's going to be a very quick. It's going to be like a quick series if it's only 20 episodes. Right. We're at the halfway point almost, so.
Yeah, we still have 3 episodes to get through to the halfway point.
Yeah, so you probably have to do one part where they go to like fight the Guardians of the Dragon Balls. I'm sure I'm sure that's gonna be an episode apiece. It's gonna be one fight, not like in Z where you have 5 minutes and it's like 20 episodes later.
That's one advantage of only having 20 episodes. Yeah, the pacing has to be on point.
Yeah. That's like I guess that maybe kind of like Dragon Ball, the first series. They didn't have. I guess some did. I guess Piccolo Daima's episodes were pretty long. Like they were like those went on for like episodes.
Yeah,
and also the Tile Pai Pai, like you had your major fights had a long episodes, and I'm assuming
Super's pacing was pretty good, except for the Tournament of Power went on forever. But until the Tournament of Power, everything else, all the other arcs were like 15 episodes or something.
Because I'm kind of thinking, it's like once I get to the actual bad guy. So if the scientist or whatever, Aritsu. I wonder who the actual bad guy would be. Like, if that be a big fight, that'd probably have to be a couple episodes, at least 2, maybe 2 or 3 episodes. So 5, like minimum 5 episodes at least is going to be about like the major fights. So you have the 3, the 3 Guardians. Plus, I would imagine at least 2 episodes for like the final boss fight or whatever, like the major climax fight.
yeah, whoever the final enemy is.
So realistically, you have 3 more episodes, 5. Yeah, 5 of those episodes gotta be just fight scenes, I'd imagine.
Yeah, so you'd have 8 episodes that aren't fights.
Dedicated to other stuff, like
Yeah.
going through the Demon Realm 1, to Demon Realm 2, and then to Demon Realm 3, unless there's like a jumping off point, they skip over one of the Demon Realms, which they could be.
Yeah.
Which they can't because one of the Guardians is in the second Demon Realm.
Mm-hmm.
So
They do have to make their way through all 3.
yeah. I
So
hope that's
it's
the only
gonna-
actually thinking about it. I hope this isn't rushed by the end. It kind of
that's
it could
true.
be it could be falling into that thing where it gets kind of rushed by the end. But I guess it kind of has to see how that plays out though. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
All right. So I think that's everything with Dragon Ball Daima so far. So if you saw 5 and 6, let us know your opinions about it below in the comments. Like the video and consider subscribing for more like this in the future. And you too could feel the strong welling within. See ya.
See ya.